Absence Management AESOP System Training, Entering Absences and Requesting Substitute Teachers for Certificated Staff. Contents. Throughout this training, we will cover the following 9 topics: the purpose of absence management or AESOP system, receiving your login credentials, exploring the home screen, how to enter an absence and request a substitute, viewing scheduled absences, how to edit or delete an absence, viewing past absences, providing substitute feedback, and finally exploring the account tab. Purpose of the absence management system. The system is used for our certificated staff for 2 things. The first is recording absences. We would use the system to submit official absence records for certificated staff, and your time from your leave balances will be docked according to these records. In the system, you could also view a summary of your past absences, but please be sure to check your pay stub or with our payroll department for your actual leave balances, as the absence management system does not record your leave balances. You are also able to view and manage your upcoming absences that are scheduled. The second purpose for the system is to request substitute coverage. Here you could upload lesson plans, seating charts, or other documents for your substitute to see when they pick up your assignment. You could also include notes to the substitute or your administration regarding your absence. You also have an opportunity to leave private feedback regarding the substitute's performance once the assignment has been completed. Receiving login credentials. You should have received an email that looks similar to this in your seq.org email account. This will include all of the pertinent information to get you started with entering your absences. It will include the website with the login portal, your 10-digit ID number, and your 4-digit PIN number. Exploring the home screen. Upon logging into your account, you will see your dashboard or your home screen. To navigate to this page at any time, you will go ahead and click on the blue house icon, which is your home screen button. Next, you'll see a summary of 3 months. These are your calendars where you could see the upcoming absences, close days, and in-service days, indicated by this calendar key here. Blue represents your absences, peach represents the close days, which would be holidays or any school breaks, and yellow indicates your in-service days where school is not in session, but teachers are required to report to work. Next, you have your absence tabs, which would be create absence, your scheduled absences, and your past absences. We'll cover these items along later in the training. Next, we have your notifications tab for you to find any web alerts. Questions, if you click this, you will find the sub-tech contact information, both email and phone number. And if you're ever troubleshooting with using the absence management system, you could click on this frontline support and it will provide you a list of frequently asked questions and some additional trainings. Entering an absence or requesting a sub. To do this, you scroll down to the bottom of your home screen to the Create Absence tab. So again, AESOP is used to record absences and request a substitute if necessary. Be sure to enter these absence requests before the actual absence time. If your report time for work is 8 a.m., you need to ensure that you input the absence prior to 8 a.m. Start by clicking the Create Absence tab. Then go ahead and select your dates by simply clicking on one of the dates listed here on the calendar. Indicate if a sub is required. It will default to yes, but you could also indicate no if, for example, you will be out for an in-service day when a sub is not required. Select an absence reason from the drop-down box, and then select your time that you will actually be absent. You'll notice that there are 2 sets of times here. One is for your actual absence time, and the other is the corresponding substitute report time. You'll notice that there's a 15-minute difference in the start time. The sub will report 15 minutes earlier than when class actually starts. This will allow them an opportunity to check in with the secretary, get their keys, and make their way over to your classroom. An option here for you is to go ahead and include notes to either the administrator or the substitute. Another optional item here is for you to include attached documents. This again may be seating charts or lesson plans that you'd like the sub to view in advance. Finally, click the Create Absence tab. Please ensure that you have a confirmation number after this to ensure that it was successfully submitted. Next, we will go through a demo of actually creating an absence. To create an absence, we'll go ahead and start with the Create Absence tab here. The first thing we'll do is to select one of our dates. So let's go ahead and set an absence for October. A helpful hint that's listed here is indicating that you could select multiple days individually or click and drag. For example, I could click and drag to select multiple days. Same thing, I could click and drag to deselect. I could also click individual dates to add them to this one assignment. Please do note that all of these assignments will be counted under one confirmation number, so only one sub will be able to pick up these assignments. So take note that the sub does have to be available for these various dates in order to pick up the assignment. So if you are doing multiple days, say for example, one in October, and again you know you'll be absent again in November, you'll want to go ahead and actually create separate absences for those. Okay, so for this, we'll simply go ahead and do one date. We'll go ahead and select October 9th. And then we'll next move over to whether or not a sub is required. It will default to yes, but you could go ahead and select no if a sub will not be necessary. Typically for teachers, a sub will be required for coverage during an absence, so we'll go ahead and click yes. Next, we will select our absence reason from the drop-down box here. You have some options here that you as the employer are able to see, but you'll notice that you are missing an absence, say for example, for a conference. Conferences, you will find that when you check in with your site, they do have a specific process, and the actual site secretary will go ahead and input that absence and sub request for you into the system. So for this, we'll go ahead and just put that we will be taking a personal necessity on this date. Next, we'll go ahead and indicate the time. You have some options here between full day, half day AM, half day PM, or customizing a specific time. Let's go ahead and just say that we're out for a full day. So this is our absence time here. On the right, you'll see the substitute report time, and it should correspond to your absence time. The only thing that you'll see is different is that the report time automatically includes an additional 15 minutes for the sub to arrive and check in with the secretary and get their keys. If you did need to change for some reason the substitute report time, you'll go ahead and click this little link here. That's going to open up to make it so that you can now edit the substitute report time. The only time you would probably do this is if you were going to be absent, say on a block day at your site, where you would typically just have your prep periods and maybe one class. So you could go ahead and edit this to say, hey, I only need a sub just for my first period class, and then we'll go ahead and enter that. Make sure we say AM, and so we could go ahead and save it with that customized time. Again, just to make this simple, we'll go ahead and say that we're out a full day, and we'll require a sub for a full day as well. Next thing is you'll move on here if you'd like to leave notes for either the administrator, which would not be viewable by the substitute, or to the substitute themselves. Let's go ahead and leave a note for the substitute. Please see Ms. Smith in room B8 for assistance setting up the lab. So this will be available to the substitute once they pick up the assignment. Next thing here, another optional area here is for you to go ahead and add attachments. Here you could maybe put the seating chart or the lesson plan for the substitute to review in advance. All you have to do is just click and drag one of your documents in here, or once we will get to it, you can also go ahead and create attachments that you have for a period of time that will automatically attach to any assignment that you go ahead and create in the system. At this point, once everything looks correct, we could go ahead and click the green Create Absence button. Now remember, as mentioned before, we do want to wait to make sure that we receive this confirmation number to ensure that the absence was properly recorded. We'll click OK, and then now under our scheduled absences, we see that the absence has been entered for October 9th as personal necessity for a full day, and that's how you create an absence. Viewing scheduled absences. There are two simple ways to view upcoming absences. The first is to select one of the blue dates on your calendar. Blue indicates that you have an absence scheduled. By clicking this date, you will see a summary of the details below. The second way is to click on the Scheduled Absences tab. Clicking this will give you a summary of all of your upcoming absences. Editing or deleting an entry. Please note that entries can only be modified or deleted by the employee before the scheduled absence date or time. Otherwise, if the time or date has passed, you will need to check in with your site secretary to make the edit or to delete the entry for you. To start, we'll click on the Scheduled Absences tab. To make any edits, you will go ahead and click on the confirmation number. The page that comes up will have an Edit Absence button. You will click on that to get started to make any modifications to your scheduled absence. To delete, you will simply click on the red Delete button, and when prompted, click Yes to indicate that you would like to confirm deleting this assignment. Viewing past absences. To view your past absences, simply click on the Past Absences tab. Again, note, as the employee, you are unable to make any modifications or delete any of your past absences. If you find that there's an error, say for example in the absence reason recorded, please check in with your site secretary so that she may make the modification for you. She can also delete, if necessary, any of your past absences, again if they were entered in error. Providing substitute feedback. There is an option once a substitute has completed an assignment for you to provide feedback. To start, you can go ahead and click on the Feedback tab. It will provide you with the following options. The first is for you to leave feedback. You have up to 14 days once the assignment has been completed to leave feedback for your substitute. The substitute will not be able to view this feedback from you. The next step of what you'll be able to view is feedback that you've previously left. So if you'd like to see reports of feedback that you left for other subs, you could always click this tab to review that. Finally, feedback left for you from the sub. You are able to view the feedback that a sub leaves after completing an assignment for your class. Exploring the Account tab. To get to this page, simply click on the Account tab at the top of your home screen. It will bring up the following options on the left here. The first is Personal Info. For the most part, you will only enter your phone number here and maybe the language that you'd like to view the absence management page in. The phone number does correspond to your 10-digit login ID. Your email address, please do keep the seq.org email. Your room number, we will also want to keep as main office, as this is what the substitute will see once they pick up an assignment so that they know that they should report to the main office first. Second is changing your PIN. This is where you are able to change your 4-digit login PIN. You could change it to any 4 digits that you would like. Next is the shared attachments. As previously mentioned, you have the opportunity to attach files when you are creating an absence. If you add anything to this shared attachments tab here, you could go ahead and click dates of effectiveness that you would like those attachments to be placed in any of your assignments. Here, this would prevent you from having to attach to each assignment. Instead, during the effective dates that you set, these attachments will automatically be applied to any assignment that you create. Next is the Preferred Substitutes tab. Once you become familiar with the substitutes, you could select up to 5 preferred subs that would receive advance notification of your absence. This gives them a better chance to pick up your assignment as opposed to other substitutes. However, this does not guarantee that one of your 5 preferred subs will pick up an assignment. Finally, your absence reason balances. Please actually disregard this tab. It is an option that we are not able to remove, but it does not include your leave balances. So again, just simply disregard this. If you do need to find out what your leave balances actually are, please check in with the payroll department or simply view your pay stub. This concludes the absence management training. Your resources here for viewing this training again is to go to our HR website at www.seq.org/HR and click on the Certificated tab. If throughout the year you have any questions regarding the absence management system, please do inquire with your site secretary first. Your site secretaries are very knowledgeable about this system, and if any further assistance is required, your site secretary will go ahead and refer you to the subtech in HR. The substitute teacher staffing technician contact information is listed below.